Yeah, can you check in the waiting room if there are some
Yes,
participants
ma'am.
waiting for joining? Because I also joined very with some issues. I was
Yes, ma'am.
also
There are issues. Yes,
yeah,
ma'am.
it was sending me to the waiting room actually again and
Okay.
again. I tried a lot for joining the meeting.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, can we start now?
Yes, Rima, we can start now.
Thank you. Saloni and Asta, please start. Saloni and Asta, are you there? Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, we can hear you, Reem.
So I think we can start. There must be problems with their computer, I think, because they're in the college. Jia ma'am, please can first of all, thank you so much for giving us an opportunity to hear to our esteemed speaker, and welcome you, sir. Jia ma'am, can you please start with a few lines?
Yeah, thank you, Rima. I am also in the university. Actually, I was having a meeting in the university. So I think there is some network issue at my end also. So if there is some issue with my voice, please let me know. So is my voice clear?
Yes, ma'am. It's all clear.
Okay, okay. Very warm good afternoon to everyone. A very warm greetings to all of those who are present here. And myself, Jaya Kira, Department of in charge of the Department of Computer Science, Shama Prasad Mukherjee College. And it's my great pleasure and uh, honor to welcome you all here. And I heartily welcome our guest speaker, Sir Jonathan. Welcome, sir. We are very eager to hear you, sir. The topic of the talk of the Sir Jonathan is cybersecurity, which is of great importance and is also a need of the hour. As we all are moving, have shifted to the online mode, and all the work, official work, financial transactions, and other activities are being performed on the using the online platforms and apps and tools. So security is now a major concern. So we really need to understand the possible threats, risk associated with all these transactions and the tools and apps, And we also understand, so would like to understand what are the ways in which we can secure ourselves so that we never get cheated on through these apps and tools. So once again, a very warm welcome to the Sir Jonathan. A very welcome, sir, and we are all eager to hear you. So I hope now we can start with our session. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, sir, I was just inviting you and saying thank you so much, ma'am, for your valuable words. So please, you can take over.
Thank you very much. Arjun, you want to say something?
No, thank you. Thank you. Just that I'm just a spectator. Please go ahead, Jonathan.
All right. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me properly? Yes, lovely.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Fantastic. So great to see so many people here today. So as you can see here, my name is Jonathan Erez. I started in cybersecurity about 15 years ago in the Israeli military. The cybersecurity industry in Israel is by far the most advanced in the world per capita. We're talking about a country of 9 million people with that has managed to collect 41% of the global investment in cybersecurity last year. And the military part has a very big part in the link between the very high, very sharp cybersecurity technologies and skills with the private sector as well. And so most of my career, I was you can call it a brain hacker, trying to understand how to make people click or tell me things or do things or put a USB drive or do things that would allow us to get access to assets. And 4 years ago, I decided to do the opposite. So some hackers, when they want to become the good guys, they decide to help organizations in trying to hack them and tell them, oh, look, here and here, you have vulnerabilities, things that you need to improve or to patch. And so as I used to be a brain hacker, then the best way to patch brains is to train them. And this is how I became. Now I'm the head of training at ThriveDX, Israeli company, one of the biggest education company for cybersecurity in the world today. And today I would like to talk to you a little bit about. I need to share my screen. So I need the host either to enable the screen sharing or to make me host.
Wait, just a minute, sir. I'll do that.
Sure. And so in the meantime, what we're going to talk about is the incredible importance of cybersecurity in our lives today and the fantastic opportunity that we have today as students to be able to join the industry and the impact that it has for ourselves, our family, our community, but for society as a whole, for humanity as we know it today. And also, of course, we'll understand a little better the different types of jobs and how to get there.
So just can you give me just 1 minute, because college admin will do that. Till then you can continue if.
So let's see what I can talk about in the meantime. Okay. I will show you the graphs later. Basically, the point is that more than 1% of all the emails in the world are phishing, are attempts to collect information, to hack you. 1%, it's enormous. How many emails do you receive per day? And in the professional world, when we're already working, we receive even more. So when we think about this, when we think about the fact that 70% of cybersecurity professionals are saying that they are lacking tremendously cybersecurity skills and people, there's a talent gap, a massive talent gap. And I'm curious, you can write in the chat how many cybersecurity jobs are unfilled right now in the world. How many positions do you think there are empty, just waiting, looking for cybersecurity professionals? You can write in the chat your estimations. Oh, apparently I can share my screen now. And yes, I can. Okay, this was the thing I was talking about. Do I see the chat? I'll move this on this side and nothing in the chat. And so the answer is that there are above 4 million. That was 4.0.07, that was last year. Now already the estimation is about 4.5 million positions that are unfilled in cybersecurity. It's tremendous, and we're talking about 2.5 million in Asia Pacific alone. And so, and not only there's a growing need, of course you have also more and more people training, but also the gap, the skills gap, keeps on growing every year. And what's crazy is that it's crisis proof. It's future proof. And we see it every time. If there's a war, if there's a pandemic, anything terrible that is happening eventually leads to a bigger need in cybersecurity professionals. I'm going a little faster because we're a bit lacking time this afternoon, but let me continue. I see that it's either people writing down or people. That's fine. So let's organize a little bit our understanding here of different job categories. There are a lot of different categories of job in cybersecurity. It's not just one thing. On the other side, some frameworks are showing like 52 different type of positions. I want to make it simple, so I split all of them, most of the main cybersecurity job categories into 3 times 3. We like the number 3 in cybersecurity. So let's take a look. The main jobs around the attack, the main jobs around the defense, and the main job across everything. Around the attack, we can split also in 3. Before the attack happens, while the attack happens, and after the attack happens. Before the attack happens, we're talking about threat intelligence, people looking for information on the dark web, in different kinds of forums, researching vulnerabilities and malwares, researching what kind of attacks have been performed on similar businesses than the one that I'm supposed to protect. And so collecting intelligence to be able to prepare better to an eventual attack that might happen in the future. That's threat intelligence. Incident response, it's while the attack happens. How do we know? How do we know that it's happening? While the attack happens, we manage to do it because people doing incident response, they work 24/7. They work in a security operations center called SOC, security operations center, and they work 24/7 in shifts. And there's a huge need, specifically in this category, in incident response. People dealing with an incident while it's happening. You're in the security operations center, seeing the different types of events and logs and alerts are popping up. And based on the different alerts that have been written beforehand, thanks to threat intelligence people, then we can research and protect while the attack is happening and try to mitigate the attack. Next, we have after. We have cyber forensics. Cyber forensics people are usually people who started and grew from there to cyber forensics. We're talking about people who gained a lot of skills and experience in incident response, and so they're able to dive deeper and deeper and deeper and make sure that no stone has been left unturned. And so they're able to verify everything, the whole path of the attackers, what they did in the network, what they left behind, what port they kept open, what file, what is the type of persistence they have on the network. Making sure that when we are recovering the network properly, it's really recovered and clean. It's also very important for legal purposes, insurance purposes. It's a very sought after position, usually coming so much time after gaining experience in incident response. So these are jobs that are around the attack. Then we have around the defense. Let's be clear, these are defense, these positions are cyber defenders, but the focus of their work, of their daily work, is around the attack. Now, around the defense, still, of course, cyber defenders, 3 levels: micro, mid, and macro. In the micro level, it's secure coding. From what I understood, many of you can code in different languages, and usually when you code, what matters is how quickly you code, how efficiently you code, and how elegantly you code. Well, you forgot one of the most important: how secure your code is, because it's great if you manage to write something quickly, elegantly, and efficiently, but if any hacker can break it in 2 minutes, you did nothing really. And so secure coding is making sure that when you write code, if you're a full stack developer, if you write a website, if you write a web application, if you write any type of software, you want to make it safe. You don't want to leave behind you vulnerabilities that will be able that any hacker will be able to exploit. So this is at the micro level, secure coding. It's phenomenally growing as a need. In secure coding, SecOps, DevOps, and SecDevOps is expected to be one of the most growing careers in the coming decade. Mid-level operations, making sure that the firewall speaks properly with the log server and speaks properly with all the different security network and endpoint devices. And finally, at the macro level, the architect, the designer of the entire infrastructure of the organization. This will be on the cloud. Here we'll put an IDS. There we'll put a firewall. Here's going to be the DMZ. This is going to be on premise, etc. All this is done by the secure architect. And then we have 3 main job categories that are across everything. GRC, governance, risk, and control, or governance, risk, and compliance, is usually a consultant approach. You have the standards, the regulations, the laws that you need to apply in matter of privacy, of security, etc. And you need to make sure that the company that you're auditing is compliant with all these regulations and standards. It can be legal regulations. It can be like you want to be ISO compliant, etc. There are many different frameworks. And then we have ethical hacker. Ethical hacker is probably the most typical cybersecurity position that people dream of, that people think of all the time, or that people most people think that it's the only job really, but it's actually not the one that hires the most by far. Ethical hacker, it's a great job. I'm not saying. Ethical hacker, it's people, as I said earlier, who are trying to attack or trying to hack an organization's network, either a network or a system, whatever it is. They see what the vulnerabilities are, and then they give recommendations on how to be more secure. And finally, we have the CISO, the Chief Information Security Officer. And this person, that's Batman. I mean, please make sure you guys are muted. If you want to ask or share something, please feel free. Just raise your hand. You have a button at the bottom right, the reactions, and you can raise your hand, and I will let you speak gladly. So the CISO is the person who never sleeps. It's the person who is in charge that everything else works properly, that all the other security components, security positions, that everything works properly. So here we have a slightly better understanding of the different categories of cybersecurity. So now it's not just one big buzzword, but I'm sure that when you're looking at this, each one of you, you're looking at it and say, that sounds interesting. Oh, that sounds boring. That's not for me. I'm gonna ace that kind of job. That's totally for me. Well, if you feel like this, you're probably right. And the only thing you need to do for this is to start learning. And we'll talk about this in a bit. So I want to share a quick video, or actually, I think time-wise, I want to skip this because I want to show a couple other things. I want to make sure that we understand the principles and the pillars of cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is not IT. It's different. Maybe some of you have been watching a British show called The IT Crowd, hilarious show. And it's about two guys and a lady in an IT department, and every time the phone is ringing, it's like, gling. Hello, IT, have you tried turning it off and on again? Because all they care about is to stop getting phone calls in order to have things, in order to get complaints like this doesn't work. Hey, how do you make it work, etc. You want to make it work? Sure, I'll give you all the access to everything. Now it works, good. So all the IT cares about, by definition, is availability, is that things are available and work. What security people care about, it's also availability, we don't have the choice, but it's confidentiality and integrity. The more you leave things open, the less confidentiality and integrity you might have. And so confidentiality is making sure that only the authorized entities get to see the data that they're supposed to, and no one else. And the integrity is that you're sending a message, for example, not only you don't want other people to see what it is, which is confidentiality, you also don't want other people to modify the content of the message. So this is known as the CIA triad, the confidentiality, integrity, availability. It has nothing to do with the American federal agency the CIA. It's the CIA, triad, confidentiality, integrity, availability. These are the principles that we need to abide by. And now I want to talk about the pillars. And that's where it gets interesting. If one of these three is not solid enough, the temple crumbles. People, process, technology. People, process, technology. People, process, technology. When we talk about cybersecurity, I bet everyone's thinking of is technology, and that's what companies invest in. They spend about 95% of their budget on technologies. But guess what? 95%, and that's funny, that's really ironic. 95% of successful hacks are because of a human error, of a human factor. So as a matter of fact, the amount of money that companies invest on technology, they need to invest 20 times more on the people, because we are way more vulnerable as humans, and the damage that we're able to do is much bigger. And for the past 2-3 years, companies, public sector, private sector, any kind of size of organization understand this better and better. Process, usually you can't really change the process. You have to have the processes. This is you need to abide by the rules, by the laws, by the standards and regulations. You don't have the choice there. Technology it's a bling. It shines, and so you think, oh, I have the best technology of them all. And it's easy to measure. You spent more money on this technology than another, but the people is really, really critical. And how do we make the people stronger? How do we make the people pillar not fall? And now that I'm thinking about it, actually, I do want to show you this video. So I'll share it differently so it's optimized for video clips.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
There. So, wait, do you see it? This, yes. So I'm gonna have it in a second. I just want you to pay attention to the details. Pay attention to the little details, and pay attention to how is this connected to a lack of cybersecurity. Let's go.
Now that I think about it, there were a few signs. Something was not right, but I couldn't quite put my finger on it.
A whole series of bugs are affecting the principal transport networks and several major computer systems this morning. A number of international airports have been closed as a precaution for the...
Take your drive your...
Further information about what seems to be a global IT crisis have been confirmed.
Sudden access to confidential data of many large companies has plunged global
into the red this morning, causing panic across the financial markets.
This could very well be the worst hacking in the history of the world. While many IT systems are not functioning this morning, paralyzing cities around the world, we have heard reports.
Revelations in the Kelly Adams scandal following the publication of a private email.
Teenagers all over the world are shocked to see their idol in such...
I can care less about Kelly Adams, to be frank. And anyway, it was high time to go to work.
Approximately 8 days and 45 minutes. Come and steal your
the industrial security of this site cannot be assured today. We've therefore taken some exception.
Video surveillance systems are down, so they had to stop all subway activity for now.
Say the world is going through the worst IT crisis ever. Marie?
What we're experiencing right now really comes down to a sudden and complete lack of cybersecurity.
Cybersecurity? I mean, there's a firewall on my computer, there's a password on my phone, I had it covered. And I had so much more on my plate.
I'm sorry, we won't be able to operate on anyone today. No, yes, we're having some technical problems. We can't access the files of any of our patients.
Is there any way we could...
Oh, don't worry about your dad. Everything should be fine.
Oh, I see.
What did you say his name was again?
Hello.
There was no way I was not going to go see my dad. But first, I had to get something to eat.
It's okay, you've paid already, sir.
Already? What?
Yeah, along with the washing machine, the TV, and the cuddly toy.
Oh, come on. I'd never done anything like that. In any case, I still needed to find some means of transportation.
And several major computer systems this morning.
And so even basic communication is proving extremely difficult. We've been informed that even many political leaders cannot be reached at this time.
Since being confronted by this exceptional situation, armed forces have been placed on high alert for the past 24 hours.
And this is how I got here. Matter of fact, I still don't know where I am. As for this light, it might not last long. What a day it's been. And what I do not understand is why me? Why does this kind of thing always happen to me? Oh, come on!
So, can you please write in the chat, what are the things that you paid attention to in that video? The details that are showing lack of cybersecurity on something. So of course there is like the bank account that is having euros going away. What else did you see there? Don't be shy. Traffic out of control. That's a very good one. Traffic out of control indeed, because when we think about it, all the red lights and everything, it's all controlled by the computer system at the end. And if the computer system is compromised, then yeah, we can do whatever we want. Bank account hack, insecure password, indeed can lead to those things. We can't think of our day without cybersecurity. Thank you very much, Anupama. This is the bottom line that I'm trying to get to. There are many more things that you could have paid attention. Did you see he was drinking his coffee, right? Did anyone pay attention to what he did when drinking his coffee? Did he make a special face or something? I'll tell you. He was taking his coffee, doing like this, and made a face like it was disgusting. How can that be related to lack of cybersecurity? Any idea? How is the taste of his morning coffee impacted by a lack of cybersecurity? Anyone? Sometimes people talk about, yeah, it's a smart coffee machine or something. No, it was not. It was with a gas burner. Some people say, oh, it's the supply chain of the coffee. Yeah, maybe, but here in this store specifically, it was an overnight lack of cybersecurity. 2 years, no, last year actually, it was last year. An Iranian group of hackers tried to hack into the Israeli water recycling system. They tried to add too much chlorine in the water that in Israel we drink from the tap. They could have killed millions of people. Now, even the car didn't work. In that case, even the car didn't. So we can think that maybe the water was impacted by the taste of the coffee was impacted by the water he was drinking. It could have been. You saw that the car didn't work, right? Today we see cars as just cars. Most of the cars manufactured today, they're just computers with wheels, which clearly can be hacked. And I actually managed to hack the cars of a few friends just to showcase it. Hack, of course, not only opening and closing, but also just choosing to deactivate the brakes at some point, and things like this. We need to see cybersecurity defenders as modern day superheroes. We go to the theater, we go to the cinema to watch shows about superheroes. There are superheroes today, living, existing. They manage to keep our lives safe. They manage to keep the defense of our country safe. They manage to keep the economy, the banking system, the finance, the supply chain, the logistics, the water, the energy, the cars, the planes, the hospitals. And we lack hands. We need you guys. We need you guys and ladies. Of course, it's an American guy, so it includes ladies. And apropos ladies, usually specifically, this war that is ongoing against cyber criminals constantly, it's an opportunity, particularly for women, because for this war, we don't need big biceps. We don't need to carry very heavy weaponry or something like this. We need brains. We need brains, and we need diversity of opinion. We need diversity of perception, different mindsets, different minorities, different experiences. And anyone have their chance. Just need to acquire skills, one after the other. And you acquire skill and you get skills. Once you have the skills, it's very easy to demonstrate them. And once you demonstrate, well, you get a job because we need you. So I really want to emphasize this part, that it's really easy. It's easy. Sorry, it's not easy. But the challenge to join the cybersecurity task force is only ourselves. It doesn't require to know to be the nephew or the niece of the governor or something, which happens everywhere on earth. We always like we don't need to know the right people. We don't need PhDs, and we don't need to be born in a wealthy country. Anyone have their chance, because all you need is acquiring skills. And yeah, that was it. And And here, with Refactor Academy, you have a phenomenal opportunity to get the best cybersecurity, cyber defender training there is on earth. We have created 3 months full-time or 6 months part-time bootcamp. In just that much time, you can acquire the skills, the knowledge, and most importantly, the mentality to join the cybersecurity industry. To have the skills to be able to bring from day one added value to your new employer. The main goal of the bootcamp is, one, to give you skills, of course, to give you knowledge and skills. Two, it's to give you also the soft skills, because cybersecurity is so dynamic. It changes all the time, constantly. New tools, new methodologies, new kinds of attack, new procedures, new tactics. And so we need to constantly learn, constantly, and never stop. And so people who are recruiting, they're not recruiting for knowledge. They're recruiting for the soft skills. Are you able to learn quickly, to learn autonomously? Are you able to work properly with other people? So the soft skills and the mentality are the things that will make you succeed in the industry. And I just want to say that the bootcamp was developed based on the cybersecurity bootcamps, the actual bootcamps that are done in the Israeli cybersecurity unit. So it's really the best of the best that you're getting here, and that we have in partnership with the Refactor Academy.
Sir, I would like to ask one question. Like, our students, those students from different backgrounds, not from maybe from IT and not from IT, how can they prepare themselves while being in college to pursue a course in cybersecurity after they graduate? So what all, because not many, where they can learn ethical hacking or any skill right now?
So first, ethical hacking, you have a lot of things online to learn ethical hacking, but this is by far, this is really not what recruits the most. What recruits the most is, and where we need a lot of people, is threat intelligence, it's incident response, it's forensics, it's secure coding, and yeah, Rima is right. Please feel free to ask questions. And so because when you have people selling online a course, they're selling what's funny, what's interesting, what people want, not necessarily what they need. We are measured by your level, the ratio of recruitment at the end of the bootcamp. So what can you do to prepare for the bootcamp? Well, register. What can you do after the bootcamp? We will, it's a part of the bootcamp, of course. We give you phenomenal amount of resources on how to continue, how to keep on learning, to be a part of this is very important, be a part of the tribe. Create a LinkedIn account and talk to the people who have jobs that are similar to the ones that you want. Talk to them, comment. Sometimes they share some interesting PDFs and stories, and by reading them and commenting and discussing with them, you will also, even if they don't know you, the cybersecurity industry is, cyber professionals are kind people, are very benevolent, because we need more people. It's not there's no competition. So we're helping and we're mentoring people to join. So we'll give you the forums and the tools and the software, but mainly the mentality on how not to give up and how to find the information you need for your next challenges. Did I answer your question, Rima, or did I miss something?
Yeah, definitely. And so one more question from your answer. Is there any forum from which we can read about the case studies and some new developments so that we can keep ourselves updated about it?
So you're talking about cybersecurity news on the everyday?
Yeah, maybe some new case studies that comes up that's very interesting so that we can develop our interest. And then we can share those learnings with our colleagues and, so that we prepare a team.
So that's a good question that has two sides. The first side is not to be like the guy we saw on the video.
Yes.
Because very often there are a lot of information, there are a lot of news talking about an attack, about a hack, about a security breach, a data leak. Every day, I'm sure, like in your feed or in the radio or on TV, and they talk about something. And most of the time, we just, it's one more thing. That's probably I heard about it, and we ignore. So read about it. Go further. They're talking about a specific breach. Check the source, and who discovered it. Is it a Russian company? Is it Kaspersky? Is it an American company? Is it an Indian one, an Israeli one? So you need to you can start with what we have, with already the news that get to you, and just not ignoring it. It's everywhere. So not ignoring it and finding in you the seed of curiosity to research a bit further and not be afraid of things you don't know. Because if you see something, that's the main difference, the growth mindset. Believing in your learning ability is the #1 factor in actually succeeding a learning process. So you see something you don't know, instead of thinking, I don't know it, and just ignoring, Google it, ChatGPT it. And that already will lead you exactly to proper learning and to learning things that interests you. There's work in all the aspects of cybersecurity. So if you just follow your interests, you follow what you find interesting or fun, there you will get to exactly what's relevant to you.
Totally agree with you, sir. Is there any short-term course or internship, like 1 month or 2 months, that the students can do during their break vacation time?
So there's the bootcamp, which is 3 months full time. I don't know. I think Arjun will probably talk about this, about the specific dates, etc.
Arjun, sir, our students have this query. Because I think 17 to 18 students are there on the YouTube also. So we're getting queries. I'm just putting up here. Is there any such course? Internship or one?
Priya, can you repeat the question? Sorry for that. I didn't hear, my audio went out.
Is there any internship, free internship that the students can do online, or a free maybe 1 or 2 month course that the student can learn, and then they can find out whether this area is suitable for them or not, so they can develop their interest, something like that?
Yes. So there's no internship, but what we have is we have a free course, and where we call it Cyber Taste, and students can get a feel of what is it, and that is absolutely free, and they can register and start doing that online. And in that, they will get they will understand few aspects of these cybersecurity. They will get to know few things, and as Jonathan explained through this webinar, they will get some deeper knowledge, and then they will be able to appreciate whether this course or this subject is something they would like to pursue. And after that, they can talk to us what are the career prospects, because through us, what we have launched is pathway to build a career in cybersecurity. I can forward that link, and all the students.
Yes, so you can please share the meeting window also, so that everybody can see, because there are faculties from other colleges also. They can also share it with those students who are interested in this area.
Yes, I will share the link right now on the chat, so that all of you can register students, and you can learn the basics of cybersecurity to appreciate this whole industry. Here it goes. I've sent it in the chat, and please take down this link and just register and start learning. And obviously send us your feedback, how you like it.
Thank you so much, sir. And we would like to know from Jonathan, sir, are there any small tips that students can take care of while doing payments on, we use mobile wallets. So their question is how to stay safe while sharing their pins, they're using cards. So they're always worried about it. So please, sir.
So I'll split the protection or the how to become secure in two. One thing is how to make ourselves secure, how to make our family secure, and how not to be a threat to our organization, to our company, to our institution that we work for, etc. This part, it can be learned very quickly. And we have a one day, I don't know when it is, Arjun, but we have a one-day training for cybersecurity essentials for private people to protect themselves and how not to be a threat to their organization. To learn how to protect their organization, of course, I will answer your question, but I'm categorizing thing. Of course, to be able to protect an organization, then you need to do a full bootcamp. Now, the first part, to be able to protect yourself, your family, and how not to be a threat, it's a one-day training, but it can be a 2 minutes training if you actually trust. If you trust people who give you a recommendation and you apply it and you don't ignore, then it can be a 2 minutes training. But people, to be convinced, they need to understand. And this is why 2 minutes become 1 day. And it can take a full month. But eventually we tend to underestimate the risk and not do what cyber defenders, what cybersecurity professionals recommend. So things you need absolutely to do in any case, always on any platform that allow it. Activate two-factor authentication. Activate two-factor authentication on your email, on your social media, everywhere. Because if there's a leak and your password is out there online, and your password is out there, or someone tries to brute force your password, then they can get access to your account. But if you have two-factor authentication, then they need also to send an SMS and to receive the SMS, etc. Bottom line, I can tell you when we used to hack people, and we needed to hack. There was let's say a team of 5 people, and we needed to hack 2 or 3 out of them. If there was one person using two-factor authentication, we just chose other people. As simple as that. So don't be the lowest hanging fruit. And it's very easy to not be the lowest hanging fruit. Two-factor authentication. Use a password management system. Our brains are not good enough to create and remember passwords. It's just not good enough. We need to be able to trust more a password management system than our own brains. We need a little bit of humility in that aspect. And one more thing that that goes in the human error, the human factor mistake that we do, is that when we see the button update, we tend to think, it's probably for some new design, or for like a Christmas theme or something, for a game or whatever. No, it's not. We need to be allergic to the vision of the word update. We see the word update, we click on it directly. We finish with it. Okay, if let's say I'm right now on Zoom with this very honorable audience, of course, if I see an update coming up on my Windows, Linux, on my browser, whatever it is, then of course I won't do it now. But as soon as the Zoom is over, I will do it, because an outdated software, whatever software it is just an open door. It's like leaving your house with open doors and open windows and saying, hey, you can come if you're a thief, come in, it's open. Because people try knocking at all these doors, not updating them, is leaving these doors open. So update, two-factor authentication, strong passwords, and backups. I can spend much more time on explaining what to do, how important VPNs are. I think at the end of the, you know what, let me share one more thing with you. I know that that we're over time, but I
No,
do
sir,
want to
no issues at all. We're enjoying the session.
I can share, yes. So I wanted to share now this. What is hackable? So we need to understand that when we communicate, the whole point of the end of using the internet is us, our device, exchanging with the service. The service might be an email, social media, the bank, the government. It can be anything that you are asking for. It's a service. So what is hackable? Your device is hackable. The service that you're talking to can also be hackable. And the network in between can be hackable as well. So when we talk device, again, it's not just your laptop or your smartphones. It's planes and helicopters and voting machines and pacemakers of our grandmas and baby cams and our smart TVs and payment system. All of those need to be secure and patched, and we need to follow cyber professionals and cyber defenders recommendations. The service, I cannot protect Facebook. It's not my job, but at least if Facebook, for example, has a leak and there's a breach of data, I can make it harder for the hackers to get to my account by having a strong password, by putting on two-factor authentication, etc. The network is on the way between me and between the client, me and the server, the service. I am passing. So let's say I'm sitting in a coffee shop. So there's the traffic, the information goes from my device to the router of the coffee shop, to the router of the internet service provider, to the national internet service provider, to the internet service provider in the US that Facebook is on or whatever, and it's just the whole way. Now, if I'm in this coffee shop, the router of the coffee shop can be hacked, usually very easily. The whole network, like who is passing the message that I'm sending? I need to be able to trust them, and to be able to trust them here, the VPN does a great job. Not free ones. If it's free, you are the product. But there's one more thing that is the most hackable thing. What do you think that is? Can you write in the chat? What did I forget? The device network service. What else is highly hackable? All right, I'm giving the answer. The human factor. What we call PEBCAC, problem exists between chair and keyboard. That's us. And we are by far the easiest thing to hack. So the most important, we think that the most important thing at the end is know who you trust. It always comes down to trust. You receive an email telling you to go to your, for example, here, you're receiving an email telling you to go to send something on PayPal, to change your password on your bank account or whatever it is. This is easy. This is simple. We've all received them. We think we can recognize them. But let me tell you, a professional social engineer can get anyone. And the people who think they're secure, I mean, no one can hack me. People like this, trust me, these are the easiest to hack, the easiest, so easy. So be humble, ask questions, and be suspicious of everything you receive. And so let's say, you know what, let's say I'm receiving this email. And it's a real email from PayPal. With actually here, it's not a fake thing, it's not fakesite.com, but it's actually paypal.com, the real thing. And it's absolutely does not look suspicious in any way. You know what I do? I just open a new tab and type myself paypal.com. Because there are constantly new ways of hacking. There are constantly new ways of making you think that it's a right thing. So it's very simple. If you receive an email, a WhatsApp, a Kakao, an SMS, anything that we receive with a link, we don't click. We just open a new tab. If they tell us that there is information that only they have and that we need to talk to them only and not go directly on the website, it's a lie. Always. If there is information about you, it's in your account, for sure. You receive, it's not only emails and SMS, it's phone calls, phishing, voice phishing. You receive a phone call. Hello, sir. Hello, ma'am. I'm calling from bank something, and I need to confirm with you some information. Sometimes they already have information on you that they got from some other data breach or something, other leak. So they have some information. You think it's legit. Don't trust it. Oh, no problem. That sounds like a good opportunity. Or, oh, really, I need to do this. Otherwise, I'll go to jail. Oh, that's bad. Let me call my bank. But I'm your bank. No problem. Please allow me. No, but you need to talk to me. I will take with you. Otherwise, you'll go to. I'm sure. Okay, I will call my banker. Thank you very much. You hang up, and then you call your bank. Same thing with attachments. Sending an email. When I send an email to someone with an attachment, I always do the kindness of sending also a WhatsApp through another communication channel to say, hey, I sent you an email. It's really with an attachment. It's really me. I sent you this for this and that. Because when I receive an attachment, I don't click on it. I confirm with the person who sent me the email through a different channel, because maybe his email is hacked, with a different channel to make sure that it was sent by the person that is actually claiming so. So here are a few tips. So that here's phishing, spear phishing. It's when it's being sent not to 1,000 people at the same time, and it's like very generic, etc. Spear phishing is actually learning specifically about one specific individual. What's their habits? Finding information online where his wife gets her coffee in the morning, where is he going for yoga classes, and finding information in social media on different types of places to collect information to make a spear phishing as precise as possible, learning the fish before sending the harpoon. And finally, there are a couple of videos. These are pretty fun, but we don't have time for this now. And finally, there's whaling, which is like fishing, but for very, very big fish. And sometimes it includes also the physical component where we meet the person and to gain their trust. And then, and that actually was my specialty. So I hope I wasn't too lengthy. I know we took a bit longer than expected. I did get a couple of questions here from, so for example, someone asked me, are you saying that we should start with the forum instead of having a course for being a part of cybersecurity? I'm saying start with what you have. If you can join a bootcamp, if you can join a course with Refactor Academy, that's fantastic. It will jumpstart much better your career. If you can't, just start researching. Start look online for things that you can find, research the news, find sources, etc. That's a part of the learning process. And I also have a question about the password management system. If we'll trust more the password management system, they will have access to our confidential info, and it can be a threat to the confidentiality, isn't it? You're right, but I know that understanding the risk. I know that if I trust my brain for passwords, the risk will be much higher. I know that I should trust better a password management system. Of course, not anything, right? Actually research and make sure that you choose a good password management system, and that is recommended by a lot of people, by people you trust. It's a chain of trust. It's a chain.
Can you suggest one?
I can suggest some, but you don't know me. Should you trust me? Maybe I created an app, a password management app, and then I recommend it here, and I will collect all of your passwords. So I say, do your research. Do your research online,
yeah.
find them. So I can tell you that the most popular today, you can confirm this online, the most popular used to be LastPass until recently. Personally, I use Keeper Security. There are some very good ones like Zoho, like 1Password, KeePass. There are a lot of them that are very good. And it is much safer to trust a password management system, even if it leaks, rather than trust ourselves. That's by experience.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Totally agree with you. Can we have Asta and Saloni? Are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. So I, Astha, on behalf of the Department of Computer Science, take this opportunity to propose a vote of thanks to our speaker, Mr. Jonathan Erez. We are really enlightened with your knowledge and presence. A special thanks to organizing committee for organizing such a wonderful session. Thank you to all of you present here for making time to be with us today and helping us to make this event a grand success. Thanks to Sadhna ma'am, Jaya ma'am, and Sarabjit sir. Thank you one and all present here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you so much, sir. It was a privilege listening to you today.
It was a privilege for me.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, audience.
And
Thank you, Jonathan.
Thank you,
all future
Arjun, sir.
superheroes.
Thank you, Jaya ma'am.
Thanks a lot, Rima, and all the volunteers. Congratulations on successful completion of the event. And it was really a wonderful event, and we have enlightened. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Okay. Thank you.